I think I was very lucky because I graduated in 1993, and even when it was a very difficult period economically and historically in Cuba, because it was a special period, I think for artists was a good moment because it was like it was a big immigration of very good artists in Cuba at the end of the 90s, and it was a void that I think we were very young and we filled this void, and that's why we had so many opportunities very young. I graduated in 1993, as I told you, and I made my first exhibition in Havana. That was my graduation thesis. It was a series of 25 prints, etchings, and aquatint that is still, they were very successful. Still, they are, many of them are the most among the most famous of my pieces. And after that, I made the show with Nina Menocal. So it was the first gallery, international gallery that picked my work. And then I participated in the Havana Biennial in 1994. That was a very important biennial, very controversial, because it was the first time that one of the subjects of the biennial was immigration. And in my prints, I have worked with immigration since the end of 80s. But then I decided to make a series for the biennial, a series of 10 painting suitcases. That was my installation in the Morro complex. And this show also, some of the artists of this show were picked by Peter Ludwig, to show in Berlin, in Aachen, in the museum, in Ludwig Forum in Aachen, and also they were chosen also by Whitechapel Gallery in London to be shown at that time. So it was together with Tania Bruguera, Los Carpinteros, Cacho, and Fernando Rodriguez, and other artists of my generation that very young we were exposed outside of Cuba because of the subjects and the critique that you can find in our work about what was happening in Cuba at that time. And I continued to work with Nina during all 90s, and also work with galleries in Spain, in Japan. I have been represented by a gallery in Japan since the 90s also. And in 1998 was the first time I came to United States, to Arizona State University Museum. They made a big exhibition of Cuban art at that time. I think that was the most important exhibition traveling in United States in the 90s. And from that, I started from printmaking, but I work with many different medias. I don't only, I think in some way my work grew during all this period of the 90s, from prints that were very narrative to installation that were more participative, to video at the end of the 90s when I get my first camera, and photograph, and many other medias, always adapting to the way the media that I find is more proper to show, to talk about what the subject in each different work, no? Mm-hmm.